My name's Dan Lancaster. I do a lot of mixing work, I do a lot of songwriting work and do a lot of stuff, basically. So I'm always in and out of different studios, and over the years, of course, I've moved around and set myself up in various rooms. When I was about 29, 2015, I bought these monitors and they've stuck with me since. So out the factory, they'll do something different in every physical space. So I've had to deal with that. And my kind of attitude towards that is like, learn the room, do what you can with the room, and that will get you into a space where that is your reference. But the problem is, if you keep moving, you have to keep learning the room, so you keep resetting. And that's actually a nightmare. So I've always been a bit reluctant to step into the world of room correction, and that's why, because I was more of a believer in stay consistent with the room, keep working on it, and then it can't possibly be better than that, you know what I mean? But it turns out I was wrong. I was in a studio in London with Rob Swire from Pendulum, and he's got a Trinnov system, and he's got these crazy, massive, really expensive monitor speakers. And he just he didn't even, I had to ask, I was like, what's that thing you just did? And he was like, oh, it's a room correction thing. And I was like, really? That sounds crazy. When he turned it off, it sounded so bad, which is odd because his studio, in my mind, isn't awkward. It's actually pretty big and rectangle and everything's, it's got all the treatment going for it. It doesn't feel like it's a restricted space in terms of sonics, but it needs the Trinnov to balance everything out. And that's when I realized, when Rob told me and showed me him flicking it on and off, and the AB was just insane. That's when I was like, okay, put me in touch. It was kind of like blown away type thing. It's really the phase correction stuff that struck me first, and then the EQ as well. In this room, I've got a massive dip at 100, and it's really big, sort of curve upwards at 2 to 3, which is like the worst thing ever for rock music especially. I mean, it's bad in general, but for what I do, that's a horrible curve to have. So when you first switched it on, I was blown away, basically, yeah. And through the years of moving these speakers into different rooms, they've always sounded good, but this room that I've ended up in, for the time being at least, is definitely the worst in terms of physical restraints. So yeah, it was super exciting, and now I just come in and sit and listen to either my work or other people's work and just literally enjoy music through my monitor speakers, and I don't think I've ever done that before. To have it as flat as a pancake, and knowing it's flat as a pancake, to know now that I'm not fighting against anything because it's genuinely flat, because the Trinnov's doing all the work, it has changed the way I work for the better, and I've really already started to feel it with my just confidence. A lot of mixing work and music in general is about momentum and confidence, like you're only as good as your last thing. So the last things I've done have been super fun to do, I've got great results. So it's just really changed recently for me and made everything better. I'm super happy with the profiles that we've built. And one of the cool things I've got here is a sit stand, and I do like to stand up, and it completely changes the sound. So I need 2 profiles, and it's so satisfying to change them. I love doing that. I love putting the desk up and then it sounds crap again, and then I flick it back to the standing position and it sounds flat. It's great. Love that. 100%. I had that attitude before about room correction, as I said earlier, and I was wrong, and I would recommend the Nova to all of my friends who I know should take that leap. And I've already started doing that. But the problem is, they answer the phone, and if they were like anything like me, they're like, yeah, cool, that sounds good. I've just done a bit of extra building work. I'm like, stop building, stop doing that. Just listen to what I'm saying. And it's a hard thing to get someone pumped about. But if someone had done it to me and made that phone call to me to try and hype me about Trinnov and genuinely mean it, I would have answered the phone and been like, you know what I mean? You have to hear it in your room with your speakers to get as pumped as I was.